What's up everyone, Joseph here. In this video, we're going to take a look at the grammar that is on page 96 of the book. That's page 96, on unit 14. Questions with how. So, we have seen this topic before, or at least briefly, as a part of other grammars, but we're going to dive deeply into this topic. So, as we know, we use how plus adjectives to ask about the intensity of the adjective in a situation. And remember, we also use how plus the adverbs, for example, adverbs of frequency like often, to ask about the frequency of something happening. How often? How often do you go to the supermarket? But that's another topic, and we are not going to talk about that in this video. So we have seen these types of questions before, like this, for example. How big is that house? To ask about the intensity of the adjective in the house. In this case, big. How big is the house? The house is very big, you can say. Uh, if you don't want to be specific. The house is very big. The house is big. The house is small. The house is tiny. Because you're talking about the intensity of the adjective. Big in this case. You can be more specific. The house is 3 meters tall and 8 meters wide. 3 meters tall and 8 meters wide. So, how long is Yaque? How long is Yaque del Norte River? It's very long, you could say. It's very long. Or you could say, well, it's not very long compared with other rivers in the world. You say, or it's long, or it's very long. You can be more specific. The river is 1200, 298 kilometers. I'm sorry. My bad. The river is 298 kilometers long. Sometimes people want us to be more specific about our answer. Well, let's modify this. People want us to be more specific about our answer. They want us to give more data, like in the examples above. For example, here and here. Let's see other examples. How far is Mao from Santiago? How far, the adjective far. How far is Mao from Santiago? It's very far. This is a big answer. It's very far. It's like, okay, it's very far. But can you be more specific? How far? Well, it's about 50 kilometers. You could say that. More or less 50 kilometers. You're being specific here. How big is the Dominican Republic? Well, it's not big. It's a big answer. Okay, it's not big. But can you be more specific? Well, it's 48,671 square kilometers. And for those who don't know, square, this is a square. And this is a measurement unit used. Square kilometers. How hot is the Sahara Desert? You know, the Sahara Desert is very hot. We know it's very hot. Okay, it's very hot. But how hot? Can you be more specific? Well, the temperature gets up. It's like that's the top. It gets up to 58 degrees Celsius. Uh, so when you mention gets up, this phrase doesn't mean it doesn't mean that it goes over 58. It means that that's the limit. Uh, as far as we know, the temperature does not get over that limit of 58 degrees. And how cold can Constanza get? It can get very cold temperatures. Okay, that's a big answer. It can get to very cold temperatures. Okay, can you be more specific? Oh, it can go down to 0 degrees Celsius some days. Oh, it's more specific, but you can be more specific than that. Okay, it goes down to negative 4 degrees Celsius at most. Well, this would be better if it had at least. It goes down to negative 4 degrees Celsius at least. So what does that mean? It goes down. So that's, oh, excuse me. No. Okay, so let's continue with the grammar. It goes down to negative 4 degrees Celsius at least. What does that mean? That at least that's the lowest point it can get. It cannot get lower than that. No, that's as far as we know, the temperature has never been lower than that, lower than negative 4 degrees Celsius. So, how hot is Auckland in the summer? Auckland is a place in New Zealand, close to Australia. How hot is Auckland in the summer? Well, it gets up to about 23 degrees Celsius. So it doesn't go over that. It doesn't surpass 23 degrees Celsius. It gets up. It gets up. As far as we know, or as they know, it doesn't go over 23 Celsius, which sounds a little bit strange. But well, this is an example. But it might be a bad example, but that's not the point of this grammar. How hot is it in the winter? Still talking about Auckland. How hot is it in the winter? Well, it goes down to about 10 degrees Celsius. So it doesn't go below that. Uh, it doesn't go below this temperature. It doesn't go below 10 degrees Celsius. How high is Pico Duarte? Well, it's 3,098 meters high. How deep is the Grand Canyon in the United States? Okay, it's about 1,900 meters deep. It's about 1,900 meters deep. And how long is the Mississippi River? It's about 5,970 kilometers long. Notice that with these adjectives, deep, high, and long, the adjectives is repeated at the end of the answer. This happens with adjectives that describe length, like this. This adjective describes the length of something. How high is Pico Duarte? High is 3,098 meters high. We repeat the adjective at the end. How deep is the Grand Canyon? It's about 1,900 meters deep. So when we talk about deep, it's about the deepness of something. How low the ground can get below the normal ground. How long is the Mississippi River? It's about 5,970 kilometers long. So it's all about length. They talk about length. How tall is that building? It's 150 meters tall. So this is another example of an adjective that describes a length, tall. So we use high to describe mountains and waterfalls. Waterfalls are when a river comes down from a mountain, and it goes like this. The river do this. That's a waterfall. I'm gonna show that at the class. So how high is Mount Fuji? Well, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. This is better. How high is the Angel Falls? Uh, the Angel Falls is 979 meters high. Angel Falls is 979 meters high. Again, a waterfall. Angel Falls is a waterfall that is in Venezuela. It's the highest in the world. And we use tall to describe buildings. How tall is the Empire State Building? It's 443 meters tall. So we use high with waterfalls and mountains. How high is the Mount Everest? It's about 8,000 kilometers high. I'm not really sure, but it's more or less that length. And how tall is the Empire State Building? We use tall with buildings, and we use high with falls and mountains. How tall is the Empire State Building? It's 443 meters tall. So this is the end of the video. I will see you on the next one.